sorry, Josh. What restaurant you go to that the main thing they served you was nacho cheese?
Nachos. not even nachos.
Bowl
nacho
of nacho cheese. Yo, being a vegetarian is hard, man.
Clearly, you guys are not. Clearly, you guys are not worldly. I've been to 5-star Michelin star restaurants where they serve
nacho
bowls of nacho cheese.
Yeah. Incredible.
Your palates are not refined as
Oh
mine.
yeah. We wouldn't get it. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It's beyond nacho cheese.
No,
Right?
won't stop. The way that I keep to deliver.
SJ.
I'ma make these haters reconsider.
PPC.
And I kick back,
Oh,
stay
yeah.
high up for life.
Oh, yeah.
And now I won't stop.
I won't stop, I can't stop, even if I try. I won't stop, I can't stop, even if I try. I won't stop, I can't stop, even if I try. Even if I try.
Hello. What's up? What's cracking? How you doing? Welcome to Y'all Boys Talkin, podcast about nonsensical improvement, where each week we not only talk about bettering ourselves, but how we can help you better yourself by hearing us better ourselves. It's like the Avengers, but better. My name is Joshua Jean Baptiste.
Frank Hernandez.
I'm Maximo Santana.
And I'm Steve Della Valentina.
And the four of us have known each other for many a fortnight. And over the course of our journey of rising and falling and achieving our goals, we've come up with a concept called STTT, straight to the top. Now, Max, riddle me this. If I was a mummy that was wrapped in ancient BC and got uncovered by archaeologists, and on the inscription of my tomb and within my treasures it said STTT, what would you tell the people in the audience during your TED Talk after discovering my remains?
First of all, my favorite year is ancient BC. Number one. I'm glad you brought it up.
This was a really long time ago.
Yeah, a real long time ago. If I was doing a TED Talk in ancient BC, I would say STTT is all about being the Thanos of your own life.
Uh-huh.
And you're going to have to put together the Infinity Gauntlet and find some gems. Some gems such as the Perseverance Stone. You're going to need the Patience Gem. You're going to need the Hard Work Jewel. And once you assemble all those together, it'll be very easy to snap.
You forgot about the grit quartz.
The grit quartz. Yes. The grit quartz. All those gems combined. All right. You slap them onto your Infinity Gauntlet, and then your dreams will come true as soon as you snap all those things together.
Wow.
The hard way.
Working hard for your goals. My goodness.
Working hard for your goals.
Work hard for your goals. Collect them stones. And hopefully Marvel doesn't, adjust your contract after a couple of successful movies.
Aww.
Anyway.
Josh, you dodged a hurricane.
We did through the power of prayer and thoughts.
Thoughts and prayers
work
together.
We avoided a
say
catastrophic hurricane.
Miami juked and bopped the hurricane.
Sadly, Bahamas got pummeled. It's unfortunate that happened. Obviously, there's nothing you can do to stop a damn hurricane, but I'm really hoping that they get an opportunity to rebuild even stronger. And, I actually read the story. I will send it to you guys about the history of the Abacos Islands. I think I said that right. And the guy from The Root gave a very animated and I'll say a real nigga telling of the story of the Abacos Islands. It's quite the read, but Bahamas has a really rich history that I think is coming out, and shout out to the people, and I hope they get a chance to really restore themselves after such a catastrophic event.
Oh yeah, and I've heard a lot of really cool stories about people in other islands in the Caribbean that were just there on vacation, and their cruise ship got stopped, and not just the chefs went in the kitchen and started making meals for everybody, but you're talking about people on their vacation helping out, going into the kitchen, making ham and cheese sandwiches or helping out with whatever they could so that they can make as many meal kits as possible and send them over to the affected island. So
yeah,
shout out
events
to
like that
everyone
are
doing what
always
they
like
can.
awful, but if we can, we find the opportunity to come together and help out.
Gotta find the helpers, just like Mr. Rogers said.
Speaking of helpers, audience, help yourself to some Steve.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, yeah. I'm here.
You don't have to be that excited, Steve.
Yeah, calm yourself down, Steve.
Okay, welcome back, Doc. Wait, where were you?
I was in Utah, California.
What? Where's that?
The state of Utah, the state of California.
Yeah,
Utah,
and
California.
It's
Got it.
YETTAH. Utah.
I don't like any part of this. Is that next to Yellow County or
Yeah, that's right behind.
All right. Speaking of Z is the letter that comes after S and T.
No.
And
What?
getting
He's not wrong.
Yeah, I'm not wrong.
Okay.
Getting to the letter Z, you are climbing. Oh, fuck it. Our first segment is STTT of the week. Cue sound.
STTT of the week.
STTT of the week is a person, place, or thing that has inspired us. And this week's straight to the top STTT of the week goes to the Moulites, which are a sister dynamic duo that has crafted a book that Max will tell you about. Tell us their names, Max.
STT of the week this week goes to Maika and Maritza Moulite,
Whoop, whoop.
two sisters and the authors of Dear Haiti, Love Alaine, a young adult novel written by NMB alumni,
Whoop, whoop.
just like us. And it's a wonderful story. In a nutshell, when a school presentation goes very wrong, Alaine finds herself suspended, shipped off to Haiti, and writing the report of a lifetime. And if you're from the Caribbean, your parents have definitely threatened to send you back to where they were born.
That
as
is
some
true.
sort of punishment for something you did. So their book list start review says it plunges readers into Haiti's rich cultural traditions, breathtaking landscape, and vibrant people. Alaine's adventure in Haiti were so intense and engaging, I could almost feel the dirt beneath my fingernails, could almost smell the peanuts and plantains. But I think my favorite part was ultimately the female empowerment that permeated every part of this tale, past and present. That's what NPR said about their book.
Damn.
Pretty
All right.
legit. Yeah. So how do you guys feel about
I
the
mean,
Moulites?
this is not surprising to me. We went to high school with the Moulites, and I always sensed their ascent to respective topness.
This is inevitable.
This was
Yeah.
very inevitable. They are a part of an elite Moulite squad.
I think it's more elite Moulites.
I believe
Yeah.
it's 4 sisters, and they are all just kind of kicking ass and taking names on behalf of, Haitian-Americans and whatnot. I feel really happy about that. I'm going to get my ass a copy. Probably gift my sister a copy for her birthday. And, support the train of Zoe's out here doing it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I remember having French class with Maritza and for 2 years actually, and she was very adamant about me doing my own work because I think she knew the language through, or maybe I don't know if she knew it like exactly, but she knew enough to breeze through the class where I was just kind of like, "Hey Maritza, can I see that a little assignment you're about to turn in?" And she's like, "Steve, do your own work." So I knew from that interaction, pretty much every week for 2 years, that she was gonna write an amazing book, and that I think I owe it to her, even if I didn't, copy or learn, quote unquote, learn from her assignments.
Quote unquote learn.
Yeah.
That's one way to talk about cheating. I'm learning
Yeah.
from your paper.
I'm quote unquote learning from you.
Well, I'm learning from my past behaviors, and I would be, I couldn't be more excited to read about this book.
That's
Yeah,
what's
I'm
up. Shout out to the Moulites. We are throwing flowers at you and spreading the movement of Zoe's out here doing it.
The link is in the description. Definitely check it out. Get that book as soon as possible.
Support young black women. That's it. On that note, we're going to take a quick break. We will BRB. Don't go anywhere.
Are you sitting right now? Do you have things to do but you'd rather just not? Then your home may be growing couch potatoes. If this is you, then you may be entitled to getting up off your ass and doing something. Get a less comfortable sofa or go do it. This message was brought to you by Y'all Boys Talkin'.
And we are back. Hi. Now is the time for our main event, our nacho cheese, our soup du jour, our second segment, Challenge Checker. Challenge Checker! Oh, so long ago, in the previous saga of this podcast, we gave each other challenges, and over the course of 6 months or so, we followed each other, failing, succeeding at all of these things. This time around, we've switched it up. We have a personal challenge, a friend challenge, and a community challenge.
But to spice things up a little bit, our end date is March 1st, 2020, and we must complete all of our challenges by that time. If we fail, we will get one of 4 punishments, which include losing all of our entertainment, losing all of our facial hair, losing our internet access, or having to eat one meal for 3 weeks. But
the same meal. One meal.
Same meal, correct.
1 meal for 3 weeks. Yeah.
Oh, man.
That's a
Oh,
bit hard.
jeez.
Yeah.
Yes, the same
You
meal.
will now starve.
Yeah.
Thankfully, that's not our punishment, but the punishments are null and void if we complete all of our challenges. But if we succeed in all of our challenges, we will be receiving Y'all Boys Talkin' Championship belts, which will be ranked by our effort. So every week, we'll be ranking each other, like how hard we worked that week, and the more effort we put into it, the better belt we'll get, and the less effort we put into it, the lamer the belt will be. But we'll all get cool stuff at the end.
Bang, bang, boogity, boogity.
Woo!
All right. Max, how you doing? Can you do me a favor and tell Frank to start us off?
Whoa!
Ooh, what a curveball, Frank. What you got cooking in the books?
All right, so I got 3 goals. My personal goal is to complete 4 music videos. My community goal is to become a mentor for Big Brothers Big Sisters. And my friend goal is to cook 2 meals every week to follow at least 1 new recipe every week. Let's start with my friend goal this week. So cook 2 meals every week to follow at least 1 new recipe each week. Last week, I did a lot of theory work. This week...
Oh, that's what you call it.
You stared at the books, yeah.
I had purchased last week a book, and this week, guys,
Yeah.
I purchased a second book.
Oh,
Okay.
Doubling
okay.
the knowledge.
Yeah.
Because
that's a good start.
the other one had like slow cooker recipes, and I was just like, I don't know if I want to be doing all these slow cooker recipes, so I got a second book, which was
Quick cookers?
no, it's like soul food for keto, and I was just like, ooh, that's dope.
Okay.
And I was,
Did you cook
that
any
book-
food?
So I looked at that book, and the images were so captivating.
Oh
You know,
no.
they were so lovely
Yeah.
that I actually did cook.
Okay.
Oh.
I had bought the ingredients the weekend before
Mm-hmm.
for a lovely chicken Alfredo pasta. But instead of using regular pasta, it's like these carrot strips and whatnot to make them ketogenic. Instead of using chicken, I used turkey. So there's a couple of things that I switched up because I already had a shit ton of turkey. But
Nice.
I made that, which was my new recipe for the week, and I made it 3 times.
Okay.
No.
So I actually cooked 3 times last week. It was 1 meal.
Yeah.
But it was delicious, and I found that I like Alfredo more than I thought I did.
Hey.
Which is
Yeah.
interesting.
Well, once you see that it's mostly heavy cream and butter, you
Yeah.
kind of appreciate it. And it's
I fucks with
it is
it.
very keto friendly.
And generally
Yeah.
speaking, people named Alfredo are like good guys.
Hey man, shout out to all the Alfredos.
Generally speaking.
Okay. All right.
So
That's
What
awesome.
grade would you give yourself, Frank?
I would give myself an A, as I cooked 3 times.
Okay.
One of them was a
one
new
new
meal.
recipe. It was and it was the new meal.
Ah.
I'd like to definitely switch it up a bit more, but as far as the outline of this challenge, I've completed it with
Did it
flying colors.
taste good?
It was
he said he liked
good.
it.
Yeah.
I made it 3 times.
Yeah. And what do you feel about adding cooking into your lifestyle in general?
It's definitely a little easier than I anticipated.
It wasn't this complex, like super difficult chemical reaction you had to manage in the kitchen.
I was expecting to go down into the fucking tombs and then like run away from a giant boulder and shit. But thankfully it wasn't that crazy. I think the hardest part of this whole thing is literally going out and getting the ingredients, because all these things are so specific. It's not like I have a huge fridge full of like, here are all the cuts of meat and here's all the parsley and here's all the like, I don't have that at on hand.
True. And given that you haven't been cooking much before, that'll come with
Yeah.
time. And as you do build up, a pantry and continue to go shopping, you will have a bunch of things in there that you can just, take a look and pull from eventually. But
And then
I
the
think that'll
best
come
part
with
about
time.
it is you'll reach cooking equilibrium, where you'll like just shop generally, and then you'll open up your fridge and be like, oh, what do I have today? And then you'll be able to chef some shit up.
Oh, yeah.
We are many, many weeks away from that. But,
Okay.
we will follow that journey.
Well,
So,
I
give myself
authorize that A.
I
right.
like it as well.
Yeah, I'll give you an A, not for the effort, but because it goes with Alfredo,
Oh.
and that's what makes sense to me. So
Thanks, Steve.
awesome.
Yeah.
What else?
So my community goal last week, I mentioned that I signed up for Big Brothers Big Sisters, and I have an orientation still coming up in a couple of weeks. So I've completed all the necessary goals to continue on this journey. And Josh last week suggested like to continue on this, to hit up my mentor and like see what's up. I did not hit up my mentor. He was dealing with hurricane stuff with his family. So I kind of just hung out and I did not do anything last week. But because of that, I wouldn't give myself any bad grade. I would give myself a bye this week, as I've already completed the extent of the goal. And I'm really just waiting for the orientation.
So would you give yourself an A this week?
I would give myself a bye.
A bye.
A dash.
A bye.
Like
a dash.
no
So
grade.
a dash would be where it's not really a grade, but it's not counted against me towards the end.
When that's a thing? People call dashes buys?
Yeah, like if you're in a tournament and you don't have anyone to
Yeah.
fight that round, you get a bye. It doesn't mean you lost.
Has
you just
has
didn't fight.
everyone here been in a tournament aside from me?
I've been in a tournament. Yeah, but buys are very common, especially if you don't have like a perfectly rounded tournament.
Yeah, it's
Oh.
a thing.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
well, I authorize your buy.
All right.
I would just ask, do you, even though you have your process like pending, I mean, you really can't just like have them like, no, I need to like start now. Like I'm on a podcast.
I have a podcast going, guys.
My grades are important. Do you feel like maybe instead of contacting your mentor, you could have looked into other ways of research, or just maybe like motivating yourself like to have improved, or are you okay with things as they are now? Like, I mean, would you be doing this for the sequential weeks?
I honestly don't want to look into it that much.
Okay.
Because I think humans are incredibly varied.
That's true.
And if I go in to do research on like how other people like mentored their kids or how they were mentored and whatnot, I don't want to start getting ideas of like I don't want to get myself any expectations of what I expect this kid to be, what I expect my experience with this program to be.
I like that.
I just kind of want to go in, open heart, clear eyes, and be like, let's go.
Yeah,
Okay.
So just get some eye drops then.
That's true.
And finally, my personal goal to complete 4 music videos. Now, last week I had mentioned that it was actually 5 music videos because there was another one that I was paid for that happened a number of months before that needs to be completed before these other ones. This week, we raised that number to 6 because there's another video that's almost done, but because I'm the associate producer for it, I need to make sure that the sound designer finishes his stuff, and I also need to complete the credits myself. So that is more important than the other video that hasn't existed there. And let me tell you guys, guess who picked up 2 other projects on Thursday?
Is his name rhyme with Hank?
Yeah.
It rhymes with Hank Fernandez, and now that brings the number to 8 projects that all of a sudden came out of nowhere.
I'm seeing a trend here.
This is a week where I learned a lot, guys.
Well, let's get back to your challenge, though.
Yeah,
Have you done?
Oh yeah.
You're seemingly giving yourself double the work, and I've not heard any progress on the original 4, which makes me very troubled about the additional 4. So.
And we talked about last week about doing some pre-production stuff, some planning, concept.
So, I said yes to those other 2 projects because one would be really beneficial. I feel like overall, and another one I thought would be really quick. I finished the one that's really quick yesterday.
Okay.
So that's one gone. So it's back down to 7.
Okay, but again, not any part of the original 4.
Hold on.
Okay.
Throughout the week, I worked on the 5th one. So throughout the week, so the credits started getting worked on. So boom, boom, boom. And I can't work on the newest one until later today. So that now of the original 4, I fucking organized the footage.
Oh.
I fucking placed it on the timeline, and I threw some music under it. I didn't there's no true editing it being there, but a lot of pre-production work has been done on one of the 4 main videos because I needed to get that shit in. Because I truly and firmly believe that if you schedule everything out, you can have time for everything. Cool. So that's going to be the plan moving forward, that I'm going to complete the ones that are necessary beforehand that are not a part of my initial 4, while also working on initial 4 on scheduled days of the week.
And the grade you give yourself is?
I would give myself a C. Because I could have put more work into the original 4. I didn't plan it out, but Thursday was kind of shit, and that was my own damn fault. But I'll talk about that more in my Thorn Rosebud. So I would give myself a C for last week.
How do you guys feel about that?
Boys?
I could see that.
Okay. All right. I'm down with it. Frank, I do want to let you know you probably should stop picking up projects since you already have a pretty full plate creatively.
I learned a lot about myself. I was just like, how did these 4 videos not get made? I always seem to be working all the time. And I'm like, what's going on? It's not that I'm busy, because busy, I'd like to throw that word out. I did not prioritize those videos. I just kept seeing those videos. I'm like, I will do those. And then everything else come. I'm like, oh, this first, this quickly. And over the course of the week, I saw how quickly my queue loaded up, pushing the things I truly wanted to do back. So I will learn from this, and in the upcoming weeks, try not to take on 70 more projects.
Yeah, I'll just say, as a chronic project doer or yeser, I don't know what you want to call it. Yeah, you don't want to overwhelm yourself to the point where you're juggling all these projects and you're thinking you're putting up a greater output, but in reality, you're probably stretching yourself thin.
Yep.
So, operating from a deficit.
Yeah.
Well, that's great, Frank. That's great. I authorize that C, and I think that's we all see that that's the C.
Mm-hmm.
I concede to that.
Okay, great. Maximo Zabadana, what you got for us?
Hi. I got 3 challenges. My personal challenge is to enter 3 rock climbing competitions. My friend challenge is to release a 5-track violin EP. And my community goal is to join the Tech Workers Coalition. So this week, made some pretty decent progress. I ended up going to the gym twice and getting some cardio and climbing in, which was a lot of fun. The second time I went to the gym, didn't really work out. I just had to turn in some paperwork that they were asking from me. So I did that.
What?
Yeah. So I get a discount through my employer. And I signed up a couple months ago. And apparently every few months or so you have to submit an employment verification doc to prove you still work there to get the discount.
Got it.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah. So
True, yeah. You could not be working there and be like, hey, discount, bro.
yeah, so it was my time, and they actually charged me the full amount for September, and I was like, ooh, I do not want to be paying that. So I had to go print out a pay stub and then bring it back over to them. Did all that this week, so still got my discount. Overall, I probably give myself a C, since I want to be going there 3 times a week, and I didn't quite do that. So, no.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
I'll approve
Okay.
the C.
I approve that.
Cool. Friend goal is to.
Well, what are you gonna do next week?
What am I going to do next week? So my plan is actually, I think I figured out a great schedule for myself where it's best if I work out in the morning and rehearse violin in the afternoon, which will come up in my next goal. So I just got to be a little bit more diligent about doing that, because if I don't do it in the morning, then I've backed up all these things that I need to do in the afternoon, and then that can get daunting and intimidating, and it makes it a lot less likely for me to complete that once I have things stacked up. So I really need to get on top of showing up in the morning. It really just gets my whole day started off on the right foot when I work out in the daytime, in the morning. So
Copy that.
that's the plan.
Good.
And
What else?
for my friend goal, continuing on what I was just talking about. So I found out that rehearsing my violin, I found out about me and the violin this week, guys. First and foremost is that I think I suck so bad at the violin, I cannot play when there's anyone else home. Yeah. And then then I'm only comfortable playing in the laundry room. which is like hide me. I want no one to see my shame, right? That's where I'm at with the violin right now. Yeah, exactly.
It sounds like
Yeah. So, but the good news is that I do get home before any of my roommates do on a typical daily basis. So I can still have that be a thing and get some rehearsal in, given that I come home and I rehearse as soon as I get home. So, and then part of that is making sure I go to the gym in the morning, because if I'm going to rehearse as soon as I get home, I can't do that gym thing. So that's part and parcel to what I was able to rehearse once this week, which is not as much as I want to be rehearsing. But on top of rehearsing, what I did do is I received a hanger for my violin. My violin is out of the box. My violin is in my room. My violin is hanging. I'm looking at it right now. It is above my desk with the bow. It is easily accessible. I can pick it up at any time and just like if I want to. My violin sounds like a putty from Power Rangers, FYI.
I was gonna say Legend of Zelda, but that's fine.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So I didn't rehearse as much as I want to, but I think it was an important step to figure out when is good for me to rehearse and make my violin easily accessible for me.
So which 4 letters of the first 4 letters of the alphabet would you give yourself?
I give myself a C. What do you guys think?
I would lean towards a D. As there's only that one time, and there's a lot of theory work. We talked a lot about theory work last week.
Conceptualizing.
There's a lot of conceptualizing, a lot of theory work.
Thinking about it does not count as a step towards the goal.
Got it. Well, I put it into practice by actually mounting and installing, ordering from Amazon.
That's me buying a book, my nigga. Like,
got it. So do you guys are leaning towards a D? Is that what I'm hearing?
I'm leaning towards a D. Steve, Josh?
I'm more towards C minus. No, C.
Yeah.
Because I mean, the thing is, I think with everyone, since it's the third week now, but we have we have a lot of months, and
We have time.
I think it's fair for us to at least ramp up. Like, I don't think we should expect each other to just go all in, like three times rehearsing a week and all that. I mean, it would be really nice, but if we're doing it for the sake of the challenge, in the sense of I need to get this A, when it, you gotta have to ease into certain things.
Like this is acceptable progress for week 3 perhaps. Josh,
I'm just saying
you're the tiebreaker here.
You graded on I'm saying you're grading on a curve right now, Steve. Just because it's early doesn't mean you can't put more effort into it. Is where my D comes from.
I am with Frank, like, regarding, like, we're setting precedent right now.
Oh yeah.
So, like, but then again, I do understand that, like, these are relatively new challenges, and, like, I think implementing him into our lives is gonna take some time.
Absolutely.
But I'm gonna give you a C with the expectation.
Oh. Uh-huh.
I'm gonna give you a
What?
C with the expectation that like you're gonna go from one rehearsal session a week to like more,
Yeah.
and then like hanging or any sort of logistical thing regarding that does not count towards your point.
Of course, yeah. I think from
I don't like all these expectant fucking grading on here. Y'all niggas are just like,
well,
all right, fine.
I think
Fine. Then I should get
the
3
precedent
A's.
we're
for all-
getting
for all
we're
that
getting
shit.
at is that it's okay to do conceptual work in the beginning, but you can't have a lot of weeks of conceptual work.
Yeah, next week, anytime after
Yeah.
that, you're like, well, I was thinking about what kind of wood I want to use. Like, none of that.
Yeah,
None
no
of
more
that shit.
conceptual work. I've done
No
all the
more
concepts.
conceptualizing.
Got all the concepts.
So you got
down.
away with this one, kid.
All right. Last but not least, my community goal was to join and support the Workers Coalition, and I really haven't done anything with them, truth be told. So I realized a lot of the things when I envisioned this and when I said, oh, this is something I can definitely do, I'm really much more of a Twitter soldier right now. And speaking of concepting and all that stuff, like tweeting about it, retweeting, commenting on stuff, that's not actual like
Volunteer work.
exactly right.
Don't be a slacktivist.
Yeah, exactly. So I can give myself a bunch of shit about, oh yeah, I was amplifying their voice and stuff like that, but like exactly.
Nigga, you was on Twitter and you scrolled past
Yeah,
them.
I'm on bar. I'm on my way to work. I'm scrolling on Twitter. That's not actual like action, right? So I wholeheartedly want to give myself an F this week for that one, since that's not actual work. And I actually have to translate that into physical action, doing something that's off the internet to actually say I am doing something to advance this movement and not just, quote unquote, amplifying a voice with an online platform. At least not now.
What is it that you can do? What are your next steps?
Yeah. What's next?
So I need to look at, they have a meetup.com group that they organize, and I need to probably take a look at that and add some of those things to my calendar. So
Yeah, look at it.
yeah. Well, not just look at it. I'm saying add it to my
Looking at
calendar
it is the
and then
first
go to their events. Okay.
A lot of things could not have happened if someone didn't look at it first.
Correct.
Looking is a vital step.
You're right. So I need to become a member of their meetup.com community and be much more informative of their actual events. So yeah, and on Twitter, like their Twitter is like a global community. So there's like events in like Bangalore, India that I'm aware of, but that doesn't really help me out here. So
You can go.
You're right. Let me not limit myself. But I doubt that's that.
I authorize that F. I affirm that F.
Yeah, I also
Great.
authorize that F. That makes
All
sense.
right, so that's what I did this week.
Okay.
Steve,
good. All
what
right.
you got
Steve, what you got for us?
going on?
All right, coming in hot after coming in super cold.
Not
Yeah,
hot.
you're coming in
Last-
cold,
Man's
bro.
not hot.
Oh, all right. I guess you're right. So my personal goal is to make and launch publicly a video game. My community goal is to help Hispanic elderlies use the
Elderlies?
yeah.
You gotta
Can you
work
say
on
that?
that wording.
Yeah.
Try find a way to phrase that.
Bunch of
Elderlies.
Elderlies. Are they a species of Pokemon?
No. Okay. My community goal is to help the elderly Hispanic community
Yeah, community.
in San Francisco to better learn to use technology, and my friend goal is to sign up for and run a 5K. So with my personal goal, I did a lot of virtual looking.
Virtual looking.
Well,
You went into
Yo,
VR and
this
then
this
you
cannot be
wait,
the looking
Wait,
episode.
Hear me out. There's steps to it.
Okay.
I've had the game engine I wanted to use in mind for a while. It's called Godot. I've never used it before, but it seems interesting. It's open source, multi-platform. Has a lot of things that I want to, that I'm appreciating more in software development nowadays. And I downloaded it, installed it, checked out some of the demos, even read a tutorial on just to kind of, because when I first saw the screen, I was like, whoa, there's a lot going on.
Mm-hmm.
So I got up to that point. I was kind of warming myself up into the whole developer experience because this
Okay.
is, yeah.
What grade would you give yourself?
That's all you did?
Yeah. Just remember last saga I was, kind of dipping around every week with music platforms music making platforms.
Okay, all right.
And this time I kind of want to just commit to one, and because I'm already familiar with a handful, like Unity and just coding it from scratch, which is kind of insane. But I like this platform. I want to stick to it, and from what I saw, I already really like it.
So what grade would you give yourself?
Okay.
Probably a C, just because it was very preliminary
Conceptual.
work. Yeah, C for conceptual. Yeah.
Okay.
And yeah, I didn't actually make anything yet, but I'm just familiarizing myself with everything.
Yeah, I'm in favor of that C.
Okay.
Okay.
I mean, you got to learn the engine.
Look, I'm still down for D, but we're doing this fucking curve thing. So all right, conceptualize the shit. If y'all voting C, then fucking A. Do
I would have liked
but
to have
it's a
seen
D
you
on
jump
it.
into the more, physical realm rather than the conceptual realm, given last week's performance. Felt like there was some ground to cover there. So, but again, I'll give it a C since it's your entry. But again, we can't have conceptual work.
No. Like I can't be looking at more tutorials.
Right.
Next week.
Got to be some code written down.
Also, Steve, you're not limited to working on this video game via just like tutorials. I mean, that's a part of it, but also you can write down concepts and
100%. Yeah,
a
lot of people create games either like on napkins or just like notebooks. There's a lot that has to go into the design of a video game, and that was going to be my next step.
Okay.
It's like, because I was just kind of poking around the demos of game styles that I might like, and I'm probably going with something like 2D-ish, and I want to make sure that I have the mechanics down so I actually know I have a vision for the game I want to make.
Yeah.
Because otherwise I'm just going to be poking around and be like, physics and stuff.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So, yeah. For my community goal, that one was kind of because so a few weeks ago actually the first week where we had started this, I was looking into this website. I think it's called like Volunteer Match, and just kind of perusing
it's like Tinder
through.
for volunteering.
Yeah, you just swipe right, and then if they swipe left, then they just say they don't like you, they don't want you volunteering there. No, so I found two opportunities that interested me. One is the one I keep mentioning of teaching elderly Hispanics to use computers. Another one I applied for was to volunteer at like a library to organize Photoshop and Illustrator classes for free.
Oh.
And yeah, I thought that one was kind of cool, and it seemed I don't know exactly who the target audience is, but it seemed cool and definitely up my alley. But I completely didn't follow up on it because it's through email, and apparently I got a response back. It's just I never knew until a few days ago when I looked through my emails, because I had it filtered, because I have my Gmail kind of like all hooked up with a bunch of filters, and yeah, it just went straight to my archive.
Okay.
And then they were very excited to work with me, and they're like, yeah, just send over your resume. And then this was 2 weeks ago.
So you basically just shit on the community.
Got it. That would be the opposite of your goal.
Yeah. So that was that one. And then for the other one, I didn't apply to it until this week. So I'm just waiting to hear back from them. But now that I know the error of my filters and how aggressive they are,
you can reply.
Yeah, I will reply and coordinate things. The catch is they have a kind of small window for me to work with in my schedule. It would have to be like Wednesday mornings when I typically work from home. So if that's available, I will actually be able to do it. And if not, then I might hit up the Photoshop library class and see where that is. But yeah.
What grade do you give yourself? I know Frank's fishing for an F.
Yeah, I would say a D. Just
Uh-huh.
I mean, no, I mean
You did apply to one place, right?
I've applied.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
I mean,
I'm okay with the D.
Okay.
yeah.
of course you are.
He applied.
D it is.
Yeah. All right.
All right.
What? So what are you gonna do?
Well, at this point, I'm waiting for the responses, and based on, how they're able to accommodate my schedule, just kind of go from there. If it works out, that's perfect. I can get started ASAP, and if not, I'll look into other, opportunities. I mean, they have a ton there.
Got it.
I mean, and then I'm just gonna have to change the overall challenge, unless there's an abundance of elderly Hispanic people in San Francisco that need
Just
to learn how
go
to
knocking on
computers.
doors, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I definitely would like you to look into it a bit more before switching
Right.
it up to another challenge. But yeah, give it a couple more attempts before,
It's like, hey, are you Hispanic?
I would consider like making sure you're target the community, right? Like if you find something in the Mission or in like East Palo Alto, places where there's a lot of Hispanic people, then you're much more likely to meet that goal in those places. So I think I would love to see you, before you switch it up, if these don't pan out, to target that a little bit more, and you can probably have a little bit more success there.
Yeah, that's what I meant. Like, there's probably many more places beyond just this website where these places are kind of posted, and so
Yeah.
I'm definitely going to look into those before making any changes to the
Okay.
goal.
All right. What else?
So my friend goal is to go and train for a 5K. And guys, yesterday morning,
Uh-huh.
I thought about running,
Incredible.
and so I contacted my roommate JR, who had wanted me to run with him a couple weeks ago, and maybe on several occasions. And I was like, "Hey, let's go run." And so we ran.
Oh.
Ooh,
Yeah.
Okay.
And
Okay.
I realized it was the first time I'd ever run in San Francisco, because I did it a few times during when I lived in Oakland, and we had like this nice little avenue kind of like park thingy. It's very cute. But yeah, San Francisco's really, really nice for running. We went to Coit Tower from somewhere around Spear. It's like south of Mark. I don't know. It was a 1.5 mile run, which to me felt like 4 miles. It was daunting, but no, it was a really, really nice run. I mean, we went through the wharf. Yeah, sorry, no, it's not Lord of the Rings. We went through the wharf, and then we went through like these little houses and stuff. And there was this really, really nice area with these hills, or these houses that were on hills, where it kind of felt like we were running through someone's backyard because it was a big staircase.
Accidentally trespassing.
Yeah, but it was a beautiful run. We got to the tower, and yeah, we just kind of hung out there for like an hour and a half, just talking, just catching up. But
So what's the grade?
I would say an A, because I mean,
So you ran once this week.
I did also do cardio by a form of biking.
That
Okay.
you do all the time, every day.
Exactly. But what if I ran every day? Would that be discounted against me? I mean, it's technically
No.
prep. Yeah.
I mean, but that'd be different than all the stuff you already do.
Wait,
All
no,
right, so-
a long time ago.
Yeah.
Remember when I was like, I was like working on a set, and it was a lot of work. And,
yeah, they're like, that's not
technically
cardio. That's not a workout.
So like,
That's
not
so let me
cardio.
ask you the question that Frank asked me. When you were biking, was your intention, I'm working,
Okay, so you ran
I'll
once
knock it
this
down.
week. I think that's tremendous progress.
I'll go with B. I'll go with B.
I like B.
Okay.
All right.
I was willing to give you the A too,
Hey.
like on that, because like
Yeah.
on this one. But yeah,
Yeah.
B.
I will also
approve.
go with B,
Alright.
but I also
B
say
for
like
biking.
in the future though, running once a week is not going to be a beat forever.
No,
It's not gonna get you too ready for a
Of course not.
5K.
Yeah.
My plan is to incorporate it into my Wednesdays, because that's when it's a bit more. Well, that's when I know I have the most flexibility. So it'd be Wednesdays and Sundays, and then eventually leading up to either including probably Thursday or Friday.
I would also highly recommend downloading Couch to 5K. It is
okay.
I did it and I ran a 5K with that, and like it's interval training. So like you run 5 minutes and then you walk 2 minutes and then you run 5 and then it slowly increases. You will be very surprised how you grow from that. Like I highly recommend that app. It is one of the best running apps I've ever used.
All right,
Couch to 5K.
Yeah, I'll check that out because JR put me down on the Nike Plus runner thingy. Yeah, it seemed okay.
Yeah, definitely, because it's like a curriculum of training. So
Right.
I think you because then it's easy for you to follow along on what you need to be doing.
Right, and Nike Plus is more about just tracking. So if you have your own regimen, Nike Plus will like make sure you're sticking to your own regimen. But if you don't currently have a regimen and you're looking for a regimen,
It's a very good place to start.
yeah, Couch to 5K can give you a regimen.
I like starting and I like regimens, so
All right.
I'll peep those. So thank you.
Cool, great. Well, that's the end of our.
Josh.
Yay.
Oh,
Nope. Josh, get over here.
It's me.
How was your week?
So I'll start off by listing off my challenges. My personal challenges. My personal challenge was that I challenged myself to create and perform a full-length one-person show. My community challenge was to try and get speed bumps installed in my neighborhood. And lastly, my friend challenge was to be sober for 90 days and abstain from any sort of substances that inebriate me. I'll start off with my one-person show. Funny enough, I actually was conceptualizing this week.
That seems like an important part of that, but
it is a very important part. But I remember I said something similar last week, but I actually did write down some stuff this week.
Hey.
I got the tentative title.
oh,
The tentative title, I have that locked in. It's right now it's going to be called Working Draft or Working Title. And I wrote down the premise of it, and I did spend a lot of the week thinking about what it was by just riffing or like random monologues, because there are going to be like vignettes or like different types of monologues in the piece. It is loosely based off of things that I'm going through right now. So I was kind of in my head going over like certain events that have happened to me and how I can correlate that with the show. But I did write down like the premise and I locked that in. And now I'm trying to see where I can use maybe old works that I can bring in there. But I have the premise down. I know what it's about. I have the soul of the show. So now it's the time of like outlining on what it can be and kind of seeing how the story structure is going to be. So I would give myself because I did a bulk of the work towards the end of the week, I am working on another project right now. So like I physically cannot, I cannot prioritize that too much because I have another deadline that I need to honor. But I'll give myself a B. I'll give myself a C. How
you guys feel about that?
See, I'm throwing it to you guys. I know where my heart's at.
What you mean?
I mean, I was okay with the B, but C works too.
Yeah, if you're happy with the C, I will go with the lowest common denominator.
I mean, a bulk. It was like one mean session towards the end of the week.
All right. Well,
I mean,
that's progress.
Well, fuck that. I give myself a B.
Okay.
No, I'm cool
also
with
cool
the
with
C.
C.
God.
Yeah.
Yep. If you were cool with the B, you would have never talked about a C. If you were cool with the B.
Yeah. I was feeling C in my heart, but I wanted to know how y'all felt. And when you said C, I'm like,
there it is.
yes, I agree.
All right.
Shit, it's gonna be a long ride with Frank. My second challenge, my community challenge, that one was actually pretty productive. So I downloaded a form from the Miami-Dade County Department of Public Works. And I saw the line items that I need to do to get. They have a form of how to get speed bumps installed.
Oh shit! Nice.
Yeah.
So things of like I have to get 10% of the residences that are adjacent to the street to sign a petition.
Wow.
I have to get the association on board. I apparently I gotta hire an engineer to like audit the thing.
Okay.
But upon further research, I think the form that I got is for like property owners. So that might be the case, but I didn't stop there. My coworker's husband, shout out to Azar and Transit Alliance from Miami-Dade County. He's a really awesome guy that is helping run or that runs the Transit Alliance. He's trying to revitalize the Miami-Dade County public system. Point being, he is into urban planning and urban development.
Ooh.
So my coworker told me that a couple years ago, when he first got to Miami, he was frustrated with the infrastructure of the street and actually got the city to paint a crosswalk on the street. So he was the person to talk to.
Oh, damn. Yeah, it looks like he did something that's right up your alley right there.
Yeah.
Got some
Exactly.
experience.
So I spoke to him, had a really interesting conversation. He's like, well, you're doing this for your podcast. He's like, do you want the easy route or do you want the really, really hard route? And I was like, I'll take the easy route. He's like, no, I'm going to tell you the hard route. You need good content. I was like, all right, fair enough. So he broke it down to me, and basically I had like a little mini meeting with him. We looked at the map. I had to find out what jurisdiction my area is in. Turns out I'm not in El Portal or Little Haiti. I am in West Little River, and like literally the dividing line of where I am is like on my street.
Oh, wow.
Adjacent. You're adjacent.
So he told me the first step is to contact my representative now that I know where I am.
Yeah.
But to contact my representative and bring the issue up. He's like, they might tell me to fill out that form that I did, or they might give me another one. But point being, like, the best and most engaging way that I should do is contact my representative, and my commissioner, and or mayor's office to figure out this. And
Nice.
from there, they'll give me the further steps. Then he also said the easy route would be to contact 311, tell them you want speed bumps, and he's like, what they're gonna do is tell you no. And then you can say you tried. So that is the easy route. So now that I have all of this information, I have the form, I had this meeting with this guy, and this week I'm going to contact or look into who my representative is, call them and see if I can set up a meeting to talk to someone.
Hey, I like
in
this.
charge
I like this so much.
I like this a
Civic
lot.
engagement.
So, but what grade would you give yourself,
I would
Josh?
give myself an A.
I would
an
agree.
A.
I would
That's an
agree.
A.
You did everything you could.
That's a lovely A.
Okay, Steve.
No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. I mean, what more could you possibly do at this point other
Build
than,
the speed bump yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah, just get the concrete.
Well, actually, he told me that people actually do install their own speed bumps, like rogue community like fixers.
Okay.
Oh, shit.
I
that'll
think there was
be-
a story actually in Oakland where people were like just filling potholes by themselves.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They're doing
I was
that,
gonna
been
bring
doing
that
it in
up.
Oakland. Yeah.
Yeah, he said people do that, and he said, hey, that is an option for you, but he also emphasized that is incredibly illegal. So
What?
Got
You
it.
can't just bring a cement truck to a random street
Yeah.
and pour speed bumps?
he said they're rather easy to install. I can buy them online and literally drill them into the ground. And
What?
but then again, I don't see me getting away with in broad daylight or.
I'll tell you, you do it at night.
Well, yeah, but that's even worse because I'm like drawing more attention to myself. Plus, also those guys or folks out there, they drag race at night, so like I don't.
You might get hit by a drag racer.
Yeah.
You're saying,
Oh my God.
If you go and install this.
I
speed bump.
might encounter various assailants.
Yeah.
So anyway, the safest route and effective route right now seems to be to contact my
Yeah.
representative. So
Sounds
that
like
is
we
what
got a
I'm
nuclear
focused on.
option though.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
So that's an A. Last but not least, my sobriety. I did great this week.
Okay.
I
Nice.
did great. All right. Towards the top of the week, I did ingest
Some party
certain
favors?
party favors that helped me in my deadlines.
Okay.
But that was the top of the week. I no longer have any of those party favors.
Well, these are productivity favors.
Huh?
Productivity favors.
Productivity favors. Yes.
Yeah.
I don't have any more of that. So, that was only 1 day. So for 6 days, I've been good. And
Hey.
not only that, but this just so happened to be the week where everybody out here doing drugs and shit. So like,
So it was challenging, but you still stuck through it.
and people were offering it to me. I was politely declining.
Okay.
It just so happens everybody this week was getting lit. So
Got it.
I there's a lot of people that are angry at me that I will not be getting faded on my birthday. But I said, you know what? I'm turning over a new leaf.
Okay.
And my breathing is better.
Yay.
Really?
My sleep could be a little better, but my sleep is a little better. And I'm gonna take this into this next week.
Yeah. So my question to you, Josh, did you find yourself having significantly less fun without these party favors?
No, no, it was fine. There's a group of people that I'm like working with now that are like I'm like getting to know. I'm like the new guy, and like them indulging in party favors was like a post-event thing. And I was like, no, I can bond with these people without doing what they're doing.
Yeah, and you can still hang out with them.
I still hung out with them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And, we had interesting conversation. And I will say this. It has been a long, long time in which I was the only sober person in the circle.
Wow.
And
Damn.
I was like, oh, shit, like everybody's lit right now. And, there was a profound sense of control and status. Not to judge what they were doing, but it was nice to, it was a profound sense of control that I felt.
Yeah.
To be fully there. To be fully like
Present.
present.
And I will say I am listening a lot better.
Oh, yeah?
Oh, that's great.
Nice.
I'm listening a lot better. I'm really engaged. I'm retaining more information than I
Good.
normally historically have because I was
Nice.
not under the influence. So I will give myself a solid B because at the top of the week I had that one flub.
Okay.
But yeah.
I like that. Sounds
I
good to me.
agree with the B.
Yeah, I'm pro B.
All right.
Hell of a week, Josh.
Well, on that note, those were our challenges. That was the checkup. We're going to continue to fight the good fight. We hope that you pulled some sort of inspiration on our journey. And with that said, we have one more break for our final segment. We'll be right back. Don't go anywhere.
My skincare routine is locked tight. Aloe in the morning, cucumbers before bed, warm water to open the pores, and cold water to close them. It's a lot to keep up. What you don't see is how much water I drink throughout the day. I have a glass of water right before each meal and right when I'm eating. If I don't, all the aloe, cucumbers, and facial cleanses don't really do much. Drinking water gives your skin an even tone, diminishes dark spots, and just makes me glow. If you care about your skin, you care about drinking water. Time to open up those pores.
And we are back. Frank was farting before we started recording. But for our final segments, we have our rose, our thorn, and our bud. Cue sound.
Oh, I got my rose, I got my bud, I got my thorn. Here is the rose and the thorn and the bud of the week. I got my rose and my thorn and my bud.
Rosebud Thorn is an opportunity for us to give grace and gratitude to our lovely week. Your rose is something that happened this week that you are grateful for or that was just plain awesome. Your bud is something that you're looking forward to next week. And your thorn is something that was a bit of a thorn in your side. So, why don't you kick us off, Maximo?
I got a thorn. I got a rose. I got a bud. My thorn was going to the dentist this weekend, and not for typical dental anxiety type stuff. I think I like
Dental
my
anxiety?
People, yeah, like people just generally being afraid of going to the dentist.
Got it.
Right? I didn't have much of that leading up to the appointment. My actual thorn is just the bill that resulted from my dental appointment was very thorny. And mostly because, so I just got glasses, which is I'll talk about later, but I probably should have gone and did all my dental work before I went and bought multiple pairs of glasses. just from a financial standpoint. So I did have enough money in to cover all of the dental appointment stuff from my like health savings account that my work hooks me up with. But I went and bought these glasses, and now I don't have as much to cover the whole expense. And I got to pay for it out of pocket a little bit.
Well, that's annoying.
Yeah, it's just a little bit, I'm going to cover it, and the dental work is definitely worth it. So I'm going to go through it, but I probably should have just ordered that a little differently, and it would have been even better. So that's my thorn. My rose is those aforementioned glasses. I can see the world in HD, high definition, 4K.
Thank goodness.
Yeah. So that's fun. I got 3 pairs of glasses last week, and they're fun. They're joyful. I like them.
Vision is great.
I can sit in the back.
I've never heard anyone describe glasses as fun.
Well, I got some cool designs, so I think they're fun.
You spent the year basically without glasses.
Yes,
Max. Like, damn. So this is you truly can see again.
Yeah, and actually, and I think I did it kind of out of spite.
What?
My optometrist told me I went to like a really pessimistic optometrist, I guess.
Oh my god.
And he just told me like the way my eyes work and the particular like seeing deficiency I have. He's like, oh yeah, these typically get worse as you get older, so enjoy the best vision you have right now because it's just gonna go downhill from here. And I'm just like, why would you tell someone that? Like, why would you?
Jesus.
Even if that's true, right? Which it typically is. I looked it up, and it does get worse with age. That's a fact. But like, I just didn't like how you presented that to me. So.
Oh yeah, that's a little weird.
Yeah, so like out of spite, when I lost my glasses, I didn't get new ones because I was like, I'm gonna train my eyes to get better. By not having glasses and not using these as eye crutches.
Wrong.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah. So I finally realized I'm being an idiot and just living with worse vision, and I probably shouldn't do that.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So manned up, got me some glasses.
Spite won't make your vision better.
Yeah. And my bud is last week I was talking about getting all the materials I needed for my magic mirror. I built it, and I'm loving it. Like, it's a mirror that has a screen on the back, and when I walk up to it, it turns on and just shows me what I have going on with my day. Like right before my dentist appointment, I walked up to my mirror, it synced with my calendar, and it told me it's going to take 12 minutes to bike to the dentist appointment. And I was like, thank you, mirror.
Wow.
I really appreciate that. Yeah.
And you built it with your bare hands.
I had gloves on for some periods of it, but a lot of it was also barehanded. And every morning it just tells me what time the next BART train is coming up, so I know when I need to be at the station.
Damn.
Fun stuff like that, right? So it's a bud because I'm looking forward to all the other augments I'm going to make to the mirror. So I'm hooking it up to my phone right now. I just downloaded Tasker, which is an awesome Android app for automating a lot of services you might have in your life. So right now I'm using that to automatically turn the mirror on when I get home and then turn it off when I leave the house.
Wow.
So yeah. I feel like I'm living in 3019 right now. So which is why
ancient BC.
I'm out of ancient BC. Yeah. So that's my bud. I'm having a lot of fun just making edits to this mirror and making it better.
Dope. That's so cool, bro.
All right, Frank, what you got?
All right, I got a thorn, rose, and a bud. So let's start off with the thorn. So last Thursday is when I got those 2 extra projects, and I did it during my regular job. I had those conversations, I had those text messages during my regular job, which made me not pay attention to my regular job.
Ooh.
But we needed to have something sent by the end of day, and I fucked up. So not only did I have those new projects, the work that I was already doing got pushed back. So I had to stay at the office till 9:30 p.m. when I typically leave at like 6. So I can have the project done and out to the client. And then the stuff that I was going to do after work, I didn't get to do because I went home and I went to sleep. And then everything basically got pushed back a day. So my thorn is mostly, I need to be better at, again, not taking on more shit when I already have a full plate. But also managing my time and respecting the work that I'm doing while I'm doing
Facts.
it. Because I was already doing that work. Like, they've never done a single wrong thing for me. And because I'm just like, oh, I need to fucking be on top of everything, I, in turn, put myself back. I put myself behind trying to be ahead. So that is my thorn.
Okay.
My rose is, so if you're new to the podcast, our release schedule and our recording, we have like about a week and a half between recording and releasing. And so last week was our launch. We launched episode 1 and it went great. I'm so happy that y'all listeners have joined us for this ride. Woo-hoo! I'm happy that like how it came out. I'm happy with all the elements put together.
Shout out to Frank and the motion graphics.
I'm excited to be doing more of that type of work.
Can we get some hip hop horns for that? Thank you.
I'm just thankful. Like I got a team of y'all boys like all together fucking making this shit happen, and like I was just really happy with how all that happened. So thank y'all listeners, thank y'all boys. Like that's a heck of a rose, and let's keep it going for the rest of this saga.
Yeah.
And my bud is that there's some work stuff that I'm doing today, and I want it to be over. And I will leave it at that. That will be the end of me saying that.
That is a bud.
Okay.
That's my bud.
All right. What you got for us, Steve?
So my thorn this week was that I was a bit overloaded with a lot of projects that all seem to be due this week.
Uh-huh.
And yeah, I realized some of these could have been scheduled out better. Things moved around. Prioritizing, it's a very key factor in time management and just really getting things done. And yeah, just a matter of knowing my limits. And unfortunately, I've had to stay up most of the week, so I'm a bit sleep deprived, and yeah, I have really no one to blame but myself. And it's definitely something I learned, just something that I had a very unpleasant experience with in having to go through. So I highly recommend not doing too much at once and not overextending.
You hear that, Frank?
We're on the same team, Steve.
Yep. Team overloaded. But on the
That's
contrary,
not a team you should be a part of.
Yeah, no.
Yeah,
I'm
not a good team.
Yeah, I'm trying to exit. On the contrary, yesterday after my run with JR, we went looking for a place to eat, and we actually walked from Coit Tower to the place, and it was maybe like a 2-mile walk. It was much further, and it was this little restaurant that it seemed like he knew, but he just kind of, I guess, looked it up. We sat down, and it was a nice little area. It's like right by Embarcadero. We could see all like the bay, and the presentation was really, really good. But I was like, okay, I'm probably gonna pay like $14 for a slice of toast. And I look at the menu, and the prices were amazing. And I was like, hold on, presentation prices are amazing. There's got to be a catch. And then I was like, maybe the food is kind of like, eh. So then we're kind of looking through, and everything just looks so good, especially with those prices. And the waiter comes with this gigantic chicken sandwich, and he serves it to someone. Like, I mean, gigantic. It looked like it was like this much chicken.
The listeners can't see it, Steve.
Yeah, I mean,
it's like the size of Steve's head.
They can smell it.
They can feel the size.
Yeah. No, I mean, long story short, it was an amazing experience. It was a Delaney restaurant. Okay. Apparently, they have several of them throughout the states, and the reason why it's so cheap is because it's like a low-key nonprofit where they intake a lot of people who either have it's a lot of immigrants or people who've come from like a troubled background, and then they use that restaurant as a means of training them to develop like life skills and get a lot better.
That's dope.
Yeah.
Cool.
That's cool.
So yeah, they keep prices down, and the food's amazing, and the people are really dope.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Nice.
So I highly recommend going there because it's a very it felt like a hidden gem.
Yeah.
Wow.
Cool.
So very huge rose of the week. And my bud is I got a bachelor party.
Woo woo!
Oh,
that's about to be
right.
lit.
Yeah, that's
right.
this week, and it made me realize that I'm technically still bachelor.
Hey.
That all my forms say single I'm technically
Did you check any boxes today?
Yeah, I'm in a
Still
relationship, but it's always awkward checking single. And not too long from now, I will not be single or legally single.
I can't wait to do.
Yeah, I have.
We'll all get together and.
Yeah, and all the that we hired.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of that's hired.
Yeah. We definitely.
We're gonna definitely have to clean up all the.
Steve does not know what's gonna go on in his bachelor party.
He does not.
No.
So for now, the CIA has everything.
Yeah,
so
thank
I'm
you,
looking
CIA.
forward to that.
Yeah.
Cool, great.
Nope, Josh.
Oh, me. I'm here. My thorn this week was that I allowed someone to bring me out of alignment. I'm a firm believer in that people that are out of alignment, and that means like mind, body, and spirit, like whenever somebody's angry, mad, or frustrated, they are spiritually out of alignment. When you are in alignment, you work better, you're focused, you're driven, you feel like there's like a flow, there's a vibe going on. And whenever you are not in alignment, usually people try to make other people out of alignment. So my thorn this week was that I allowed someone to get me out of alignment. And I actually experienced anger for a bit, which was weird because if you know me, it takes a lot to get me angry. And it is not an emotion I'm too familiar with. Which the artistic side of me was like, oh my God, I'm angry right now. But
let me use this.
I was a little frustrated that I allowed someone to bring me out of alignment. So if someone is trying to rock your boat, do not let them. They are just trying to get you to where they're at, and don't allow it. So that was my thorn. My rose was that this week was a really fruitful week because I just realized I know a lot of dope people. I used to like really be like not insecure, but like, I don't know, like, you know, jack of all trade, master of none with the people that I know. I have a very large network. And also, if you do know me, that usually in any public space in Miami, I run into someone that I know. This is a very small city to some degree, but like, I just know a lot of peeps. But I'm coming to realize that as a person that knows a lot of people, I can leverage my network to help others and or myself when I need to. And it's just good to know a lot of people because there's a lot of dope people in this world. And I've made some new peeps, and I've galvanized the love and affection that I have for my current peeps. So that's always a good thing. And speaking of peeps, my bud, in line with Steve, I'm really excited to link up with y'all boys.
Yeah.
I'm not sure, but I think this will be like one of the last times we'll all be in Miami together because I can't really see of a reason of all of us to be in the same city at the same time. So, you know, I'm going to be embracing it, and we're going to be doing a Y'all Boys Talking live cast.
Ooh-wee.
So that should be interesting. And, yeah, I can't wait for you guys to get your asses over here. On that note, ladies and gentlemen, we have come to the end of the show. Thank you for staying with us. Oh, no. On that note, ladies and gentlemen, now is the time for the end of the show. We hope that you have pulled some sort of inspiration or motivation from a Haitian and some Latino guys.
That's us.
We hope you have an amazing, productive week. To your respective top. Deuces. We have a couple shout outs we want to give. Shout out to Adi and Lewis for our interstitial music, to Geno Music for our wonderful theme song called Won't Stop. To learn more about our challenges, go to y'allboystalkin.com or follow us on Instagram and Twitter and Facebook at y'allboystalkin. New episodes every single Wednesday.